There was once a Taco Bell item so mysterious that the people at Taco Bell didn't even know how to make it. Seriously, let that sink in. How crazy is that, right? I know. Year was 1993, and there was a brand new cable channel called the TV Food Network. This was going to drop kick the culinary industry and the huevos. Seriously though, there was a brand new bunch of foodies about to be minted on all this education they were getting by watching all these people teaching them how to cook, and it was going to change what we were going to want to eat from that point forward. Fast food CEOs were ranged from nervous to flat out soiling their skivvies. They were trying to figure out how the hell they were going to come up with any sort of menu item that these new foodies were going to want to eat. So you can imagine that those board meetings got a little spicy. One can assume McDonald's would come up with the Arch Deluxe, which the public pretty much didn't understand, and Taco Bell came up with a 7-layer burrito, which the kids working there trying to assemble it didn't understand. I say that because if you ever ordered one of these, you immediately encountered the problem. This generation of teenagers could not read. But the problem was a little bigger than that. Let's take a step back and talk about what the 7-layer burrito was supposed to be. It's based on the monstrously popular 7-layer dip that was just sweeping the nation at the time. Somebody had come up with this idea of layering a bunch of stuff in there and making a fun taco dip out of it. And basically you could not go to any potluck, cookout, block party, or funeral, basically, and not come across the 7-layer dip. Now, if you were throwing a party, you had to specifically specify who was allowed to bring the 7-layer dip, or you ended up with 10 of these things. And let's face it, nobody can eat that much dip. They were incredibly popular, so you think, wow, why couldn't they have figured out how to make the burrito? Well, that's because the 7-layer dip was being made by moms, and the 7-layer burrito was being made by teenagers. Where's the one place you will never find a teenager? Wherever the hell their mom is. So, sadly, there was a disconnect between the knowledge of one generation to the other. This was compounded by a couple of other problems, but basically, teenagers didn't understand the concept of this, and it's largely because of Legos. I know, that sounds a little weird, but hear me out. We'll get to that in a second. So let's start by saying, what was the actual 7-layer dip? This is important to understand if we're going to understand the 7-layer burrito. It was refried beans, guacamole, sour cream, cheese, salsa, there was tomatoes, and black olives. Those were pretty much the staples. Some people would add lettuce or some green onions on top, a couple other things like that. But essentially, you had those 7 basic layers, and you stick a chip in it, and there you go. That was what it was. And the 7-layer burrito, Taco Bell said, hey, wait a minute. We have most of those items here. Why don't we combine a bunch of stuff and try to win a James Beard Award? No. Of course, the CEO at the time said it must have rice in it because it turns out rice is really, really, really cheap, and it was the filler they were putting in basically everything to cut the budgets. That was just talk about the time. They also got rid of the black olives because, sadly, racism. No, I'm just kidding. There wasn't any racism until 2008. They got rid of it for budget cuts. Back in the 80s, they started trimming budgets, and sadly, the black olives just didn't make the cut. That's it. That's no bigger thing than that. That's all it was. So the Taco Bell version of this would have refried beans, rice, sour cream. You'd have lettuce, tomato, cheese, and the bougie item that they included was guacamole. Yeah, guacamole was not a typical thing for Taco Bell at the time. It would become more mainstream in their menu. But that was the idea of the 7-layer burrito. You put all that stuff in there, and you could bite that thing, and it would be delicious. It'd be like eating a 7-layer dip. You know, if somebody put rice in it because they were lazy or cheap. But no one ever did. But Taco Bell, whatever. Anyways. Off on a tangent. The problem here is the people that they had assembling this were teenagers. Now, I like teenagers. I used to be one. They're fantastic. I mean, think about it. They make great rock bands, models, they're fun as hell in horror movies, but they do lack a little bit in the life skills department. And that's because they just lose a lot of life skills they haven't had yet. You know, a lot of experience in things, and they don't read much. So the 7-layer burrito suffered quite a bit. There's also the problem of Legos. We're getting back to that now because this is a generation that was raised on playing with Legos. Now, to make Legos, you stack them up to make things, right? So the teenage mind kind of reverts back to that mentality when it's asked to make a 7-layer burrito, and they go, oh, okay. And then you end up making a 7-section burrito. They take this and they do that, and you get 7 sections. Now, you're thinking, what's the big deal? It's all going the same place anyways. Well, it turns out your mouth notices. It's important. If you don't get all 7 layers like in each bite or as much as possible, your mouth is going to notice and it's going to get a little pissed off. So sadly, 7-layer burrito was just structurally flawed. Not because of corporate weenies, or inflation, or poor planning. Nope. It was doomed because of a bunch of Scandinavian carpet mines and the kids that grew up playing with them. It's true. That is what happened to the poor 7-layer burrito, but it is an easy thing to make now that we've grown up and we understand the importance of layers. Layers. So if you want to make one of these things, just remember layers. Now, you're wondering, why haven't I cooked anything here? Because I normally cook everything on this channel. It's because I've already made everything in this burrito before. So if you want to make a 7-layer burrito, there's a playlist right up here, the Taco Bell playlist. All of the ingredients can be found in there. The beans, the rice, the guacamole, all that stuff is in there. Just layer it in, put it in. Here's a picture of a 7-layer burrito as it's supposed to be done. You can see this here. Follow that as your diagram and you will have the wonderful bougie item that Taco Bell tried to come up with in order to please the newly minted foodies of the 1990s. That's it. There you go. Now, this is a way different video than I've ever made before because I'm not cooking anything. So if you hate this video, hit the thumbs down. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. That will help me determine if I ever do this again. I have to say, trying to memorize all this stuff is a little bit challenging. I don't have a teleprompter. But what I do have, by the way, and I will cheat and show you, I have notes. Yes, I made notes and they're sitting here mysteriously out of your view. Hey, I'm doing the best I can. We're on a paper budget. We don't have teleprompter money yet. So if you want us to get that teleprompter thing and get this way more professional, then leave comments and subscribe and all that stuff because YouTube will start sending these videos out to more people and then we'll have teleprompter money. Seriously, folks, they're like $100. So it's within reach. So help me out, and if you want to see more of this stuff, if you don't, just hit that thumbs down thing down there, leave me a comment telling me I suck, get back to cooking or whatever, and I will do that. So thanks for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully one way or another I'm about to find out, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.